is the PCSRA Radio Network and the Blue Hedgehog TV. We now interrupt your regular scheduled programming for the following sports special. This copyrighted broadcast is presented by the authority of the International Motorsports Association for the private use of our audience. Any reproduction or rebroadcast, retransmission or other dissemination or the use of this broadcast, descriptions or accounts of this show without the express written consent of the International Motorsports Association is prohibited. On the PCSRA Sports Network from Learfield IMG College. Welcome to the IMSA podcast presented by Toyota. Now at the call of today's show, here's the voice of the PCSRA, Daniel Voiles.
And hello and good morning and welcome here to the IMSA podcast here on the PCSRA Radio Network. Daniel Voiles, glad to be here for what will be a very exciting show. We also have the Triple P show coming up next after this. Apologies if I haven't had a chance to get this IMSA podcast up, but I've been really busy, so yeah, to make sure we get this done smoothly, I'm not going to invite anybody to join me for this show, so hopefully you understand. So yeah, so let's go ahead quickly recap Detroit and then we'll get to our other stuff coming up. The race had to be delayed to 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific, because if you weren't with us on Triple P last week, they had a delay because of the accident with Felix Rosenquist, which was what the delay was for. So they only had 20 entries, so this will make it easier. Alright, so the top 6 results. Kevin Magnussen, Ringer van der Zande, the 01 Cadillac won. Felipe Nasser, Pippo Durrani 2nd, Ricky Taylor, Felipe Albuquerque 3rd, Oliver Jarvis, Harry Tinkle 4th, Luke DeVault, Tristan Valtier 5th, Dean Cameron, Oliver Pala completed the field. Of course, we only had 2 GT Le Mans drivers, Tommy Miller, Nick Tanny, the winner, Antonio Garcia, and Jordan Taylor finishing 2nd, and round out the classes. The top 10 results for GT Daytona: Russ Gunn, the number 39 team, with Roman DeAngelis 1, Marco Mapley, Misha Goshenberg 2nd, Mark Till, whatever that person's last name, 3rd, Jack Hawks 4th, Aaron Celez 4th, Townsend Bell, Frankie Macavalo 5th, Ryan Seller, Madison Snow 6th, Mikhail Greiner, Kenny Abul 7th, Bill Overland, Robert Foley 8th, Mario Fombacher, Jeff Kingsley 9th, Daniel Mordell, and Michael De Coisadia completed 10th. Of course, Catherine Lake got 11th, and Jeff Westfall 12th. So, Detroit was good. I mean, even though they had to delay the start, which the good news is the race wasn't that long. It was like 100 minutes sprint race. So there you go. So, to some IMSA news before we get ready to head over. I'll tell you about the Watkins Glen situation when we look ahead to Watkins Glen. To some IMSA news that has been going on since we were last with you guys. Starting with, let's see, they ran June 12th. So let's tell you what has been going on around the IMSA news. BMW is going to enter the LMDH prototype racing category, which this will not go in effect in 2023. Which is surprising. Corvette Racing is building a 4th C8.R chassis ahead of the 24 Hours of Le Mans, since they had a rescheduled race. Normally, Le Mans would have already been ran by now. Let's see here. Sean Creed, Motorsports driver Lance Willsey departed the team indefinitely, leaving the LMP3 team with an uncertain future in the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship. Will C was due to mount a full season alongside Joao Barbosa. In a full-time campaign. They are in search of a replacement funded driver or sponsorship to complete the LMP3 season for the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship. They hope to find a driver to compete alongside Barbosa for the remainder of the season. But IMSA continues to be their primary focus going forward, both for the remainder of this season and 2022. The team sits second in the Michelin Endurance Cup ahead of the 6 Hours of the Glen, which is on June 25th through the 27th. So there's that. At least 8 LMDH manufacturers is what they have for this new class that's going to start in 2024. Max Angelelli predicted there's going to be 20 to 25 LMDH cars representing up to 8 manufacturers on the grid for the 2024 Rolex 24 Daytona, what poises to mark a new era in motorsports racing. The two-time Grand Am champion, who has retired from driving and team ownership to serve as a senior figure at LMDH chassis constructor Dallara, is bullishing on the future of IMSA and the ACO new joint platform that will debut in the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship in 2023. As of now, Acura, Audi, BMW, and Porsche have already been confirmed for the launch year in 23, with Cadillac understood to be on the verge of announcing its program and increasing interest from Lamborghini and Bentley, among others that are reportedly in the pipeline. So 2025. So that means we could end up in 2024 with the biggest entry list for the Rolex 24, which is a huge deal because, well, let's be honest, the Rolex 24 is, after all, the greatest marquee event in the history of historyness. So that's pretty damn good to see some more cars and more and all that. Who knows? This could be a record-breaking year when we get to 2024 for the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship. But we're still in 2021, so we got a couple of years to figure that one out, if you know what I mean. So yeah. You know, I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, that's really a big deal, if you ask me, with, you know, having possible 8 entries and, you know, depending how many Daytona Prototype Internationals we have, like I said, this could be the biggest Rolex 24 car field we're going to have probably in a long time. In fact, I don't think we've ever had a big grid at the Rolex 24 in quite some time, but you get the point. So that's something we're definitely looking forward to, if you know what I mean. Now, since that's all the news we have as of now, if we have any more news between now and after the second Watkins Glen race, we'll let you know. Speaking of Watkins Glen, which brings us to our look ahead to Watkins Glen. Now, let me explain a little side note I need to throw. We're going to recap both of these races. We're not going to recap the 6 hours of the Salem 6 hours at the Glen, and I'm going to explain why. With this, and in case you don't know this, Watkins Glen is a double header, just to let you all know. I know some of you are like, wait a minute, what do you mean it's a double header? This is a double header. Not only that there's going to be racing on June 25th to 27th. Keep in mind, this is also the second Watkins Glen race is actually to make up for the Canadian Tire Motorsports Park race that was supposed to have been the week after Watkins Glen, but because of travel restrictions and quarantine rules, and Canada cannot get out of they're still fearing of COVID-19, blah, 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 which the country all got smacked by everybody else in North America for being a bunch of numpties and not having, you know what I mean. And with the race weekend being canceled from CTMP, they relocated the Canadian Tire race to Watkins Glen. So it will not only the June 24th to 27th, it's the 6 hours of Glen. They're also going to run the full course on July 1st and the 2nd. So there you go. So they're running back-to-back races, but they're staying up in New York, which is very good to see. I mean, yeah, I'm disappointed they're not going to Canadian Tire, yeah, but I don't even know if we're going to have any motorsports racing in Canada, just my opinion. Because I'm not so sure how long it's going to be until Canada goes back to normal, if you know what I mean. So, for the greater good, while we're disappointed we're not racing in Canada, like, I expected Canada to probably go back to normal either next year or 2023, who knows, we'll see. We're excited to finally get these two races at Watkins Glen. Which, Watkins Glen, let's be honest, is going to be a fun race. The race would have already been completed, but it's going to be at 7 Eastern time, so I believe it is after, let me pull up my calendar here, June 27th. Let me look at J-Ski real quick, but while I'm doing that, it's going to be good racing, we're going to see. Excuse me. It's really going to be a very exciting 2 races we're going to see. And, oh yeah, it will be after the Cup race. So there will probably not be, I don't think there's going to be post-race for NASCAR, which we'll get to that on the IMSA. Or, I'm sorry, we're going to get to that on Triple P. I'm sorry. Excuse me. See, this is what happens when I have to do this at freaking 2 o'clock in the morning, which, my bad, or almost, which is, by the way, I'm doing this at almost 3 a.m. Yeah, because I fell asleep and I woke up and I was like, oh shit. So, yeah. I'm gonna be probably tired after this, if you know what I mean, so. Anyway. Keys to the race. The first race is an endurance one. The second one is just a sprint race. I think we're going to see some good racing. Watkins Glen, of course, still fantastic racing. Of course, this one is the 3rd round of the Tequila Patron Endurance Cup. You have another one at the season finale at Road Atlanta. Should be really good racing and should be a good action pack, if you know what I mean. So, and will be exciting. So, yeah. Interesting to note. The WeatherTech 240 was also the same sponsor that that IMSA had when they went to Daytona, when they came back from the COVID-19 deal. And of course, I believe they ran that race without fans. I think it's been a while, so. Yeah, I think they ran that race without fans, and of course, this time last year, we were on the return to the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship. At least we were happy to have some racing back for once. Woohoo! Because they were stuck on points after one race for quite a while this time last year. So, but like I said, it's going to be exciting, going to be really fun, and it's great to be back at Watkins Glen. So, on that note, we are officially done with the IMSA podcast, but first, before we go over to Triple P, I will give you a little program note to pass along. Depending on my work schedule, we could have an IMSA episode on Saturday, July 3rd. But like I said, that is going to depend on my work schedule. So the next IMSA podcast, the next time you'll be getting an IMSA podcast, since today is June 22nd as I'm streaming this, that will be less than 2 weeks from now, which means July the 5th. We'll get another episode of the IMSA podcast, my last IMSA podcast as a 26-year-old, because we'll preview the race at Lime Rock, which we're excited to be going back to Lime Rock. I believe Lime Rock was canceled due to the COVID-19 deal, so it would be nice to go back to Lime Rock Park. Of course, that race was moved to Charlotte Roval after what happened last year, but yeah, so. And of course, that was also when everybody was BSing, saying that how come IMSA gets to have practice and qualifying? It's because IMSA has never raced the Charlotte Roval. You see my point? Xfinity Cup have already ran the Charlotte Roval because it's not new. There you go. So, alright, so that's it for the IMSA podcast for this portion of the stream. And now, to the greatest show in the world, we're going to get ready to head over to Triple P right now. So, with that being said, here is the intro for Triple P. Woohoo! But first, let's do the outro for the IMSA podcast and then intro for Triple P.
On the PCSRA Sports Network from Learfield IMG College, IMSA Podcast has been brought to you by Budweiser, Love's Travel Stops, iHeartMedia, The Oklahoman, Newcastle Casino, Devon Energy, Sonic Drive-Ins, and by Chevrolet. Thanks for joining us for the IMSA Podcast. The preceding has been a Learfield IMG College presentation on the PCSRA Sports Network. Copyright 2021 by the Pacific Coast Sports Racing Association and the International Motorsports Association Incorporates.
And now, Triple P.
This copyrighted broadcast is presented by the authority of the National Association of Professional Racing Leagues Incorporated for the private use of our audience. Any reproduction or rebroadcast, retransmission, or other dissemination or the use of this broadcast, descriptions or accounts of this show without the express written consent of the National Association of Professional Racing Leagues Incorporated is prohibited. On the PCSRA Sports Network from Learfield IMG College. Welcome to the PCSRA Paddock Pass Show. We're glad that you're here to start a new journey of the PCSRA as the chase for the 2021 championships begin. Welcome to the PCSRA Paddock Pass on the PCSRA Radio Network as we get ready to bring you all the racing for the 2021 season. Today's broadcast has been brought to you by Budweiser, Love's Travel Stops, iHeartMedia, The Oklahoman, Newcastle Casino, Devon Energy, Sonic Drive-Ins, and by the Oklahoma Highway Safety Office, where we encourage all of you fans that together we can end DUI. Now, for the greatest show on earth from today's episode of the PCSRA Paddock Pass from Yukon, Oklahoma, here's the voice of the PCSRA, Daniel Voiles.
Yes, 2 podcasts in one night, me likely. Hi, Great Lakes, by the way. So, yes, we are on the Triple P side of things, so, hooray. This is going to be a bloodbath of a show. So, anyway, before we start, today's episode of Triple P, got a few announcements that'll be coming. Yes, hi. Yeah, let me throw a little disclaimer, this promotional announcement. Spirit Untamed is going to be on the streaming site starting this Friday. Woohoo. So if you have not seen the movie and you want to see it on the streaming, go right on ahead. I need to see when said it was going to be on... I can rent it on Google Play, YouTube, Apple TV, blah, 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 blah. Peacock will have it for free, thank God. But, yeah. It made $13.8 million, which is not too bad during a pandemic, if you ask me. Yes, it'll be on demand June 25th, which is this Friday, so... You can get it on Apple TV, you can get it on Prime, Google Play, Xfinity, Fandango, Movie and TV, etc., etc. Of course, it won't be out until July in, like, other places, if you know what I mean. So, just to throw a little promotional announcement on that. And, yeah, with that being said... We have a lot of recapping to do. Woohoo. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to... Okay, so that's DTM. I need to find supercars. Yeah, we have a lot of recapping to do today, my friends. A lot. So, bear with me. It's going to be a long... It's going to be a long stream so far. I can tell you, I will start with SRX, because I have the results for SRX. Woohoo! Which is good. So the full field results from Knoxville, Tony Stewart won, so that's good news. Haley Deegan second. Of course, Haley Deegan was filling in for TK because of contract situations. Finished second. Ernie Francis Jr. third. Elio Castroneves fourth. Michael Waltrip fifth. Bobby Labonte sixth. Marco Andretti seventh. Brian Brown finished eighth. Scott Bloomquist ninth. Willie T. Ribbs completed the top 10. Bill Elliott and Paul Tracy rounded out the field. Tracy was the only driver that did not finish the main event because of suspension issues on that car. So there you go. Next up will be the, give me a second here. I'm trying to get the results for supercars because I need to get that. Supercars. Oh, here it is. So, the top 10 results for the supercar races from Hidden Valley, in aka Darwin. Chaz Mostert won race 1. He was the winner. Cameron Waters second. Nick Paracat third. James Courtney fourth. Will Brown fifth. Jake Koleski sixth. Kurt Koleski seventh. Tim Slade eighth. Brody Koleski ninth. And Thomas Randall completed the top 10. The top 10 results for race number 2. SVG Shane Van Gisbergen back on top, wins. Will Davison second, Jamie Whincup third, Chaz Mostert fourth, Mark Winterbottom fifth, Antoine De Pascal sixth, Cameron Waters seventh, Will Brown eighth, Nick Paracat ninth, James Courtney completed the top 10 of race 2, and then the finishing results from race 3. SVG won again. Will Davison second, Jamie Whincup third, Chaz Mostert fourth, James Courtney fifth, Nick Paracat sixth, Mark Winterbottom 7th, Cameron Waters 8th, Tim Slade 9th, and Will Brown completes the top 10. The top 10 results for the DTM, as I'm trying to find the, oh, here it is. Here it is. Here's the race 1 results. Liam Lawson, in his debut for DTM, got the win. Who had that on their bingo card list? Vincent Eberl of France got second. Maximilian Cortez third. Alex Albon fourth. Daniel Johnsedella got fifth. Sheldon Vanderlyn sixth. I don't know why it says Kevin on there, but it should be Sheldon. Maximilian Burke seventh. Nico Mueller eighth. Marco Whitman ninth. And Mike Rockenfeller complete the top 10. The results for race 2, Sheldon Vanderlyn wins. Nico Mueller second. Lewis Auer got third. Or no, that's Kevin Vanderlyn. I'm sorry. Kevin Vanderlyn won. I didn't know that was Kevin, but anyway. Sheldon Vanderlyn fourth. Marco Whitman fifth. Philip Ellis sixth. Alex Albon seventh. Mike Rockefeller eighth. Esteban Mort 9th, and Maximilian Gotez completed top 10. So let's see, we did Supercars, we did DTM, we did SRX. That's 3 that I've done. Let me look at my agenda for Triple P. Formula E. Let me give you the top 10 results from Mexico, or not Mexico, yeah, from Mexico, Puebla to be exact. Let's do this. Alright, so the top 10 results, that's qualifying. Top 10 results from Formula E from Race 1 in Mexico. Lucas Degrassi got the win. Of course, Oliver Rowland originally won the race, but was disqualified due to battery issues. Actually, Pascal Wehrlein, Andre Lauderer, Sebastian Buemi, Oliver Rowland were disqualified for multiple reasons. For technical infringements, so... even though Oliver Rowland retired out of the race, so it really didn't make a difference, if you ask me, so... Which gave Lucas Degrassi the win. Rene Rast second, Eduardo Montero third, Alexander Sims fourth, Jake Dennis fifth, Antonio Felix da Costa sixth, Stoffel Van Dorn seventh, Mitch Evans eighth, Nick DeVries ninth, and Alex Lane complete the top 10 in race 1. In race number 2, the top 10 results: Eduardo Montero 1, Nick Cassidy 2nd, Oliver Rowland 3rd, Pascal Wehrlein 4th, although he was under investigation by the officials, but nothing happened. Jake Dennis 5th, Alex Lynn 6th, Maximilian Gunter 7th, John Eric Verne 8th, Mitch Evans 9th, and Rene Rast completed the top 10. Hi, Andrew Davis, who's online. So, there you go. Now, to France. If I can find the top 10 results, which thank you to Ormy. Top 10 results, oh, that's Spain. I do not have the results from France. That's what I'm looking for. So apparently Nathan Orman did not give me a update on, give me results for France. So give me a second, I'm going to find that for myself. Okay, that's, I need 2021, that's what I'm looking for. Okay. Since they were at Paul Ricard, report. So let's give you the top 10 results for race 1. Alexander Samalar 1, Victor Martins of France 2nd, Callan Williams finished 3rd, Logan Sargent 4th, Clement Novalak 5th, One Man Carrera 6th, Jack Doohan 7th, Ayumi Ashawa 8th, Dennis Hauger 9th, Oliver Caldwell completed the top 10. Ito Cohen was given a 5-second time penalty for forcing another driver off the track in turn 11 on the last lap. Arthur Leclerc won race number 2, the brother of Charles Leclerc, which we'll talk about in the F1 race in a minute. Dennis Hauger 2nd, Victor Martins 3rd, Oliver Caldwell 4th, Jack Doohan 5th, Clement Novalak 6th, Alexander Samalar 7th, Callan Williams 8th, Amu Asawa 9th, Frederick Vesey 10th. In that deal, Lorenzo Cumbo got a 5-second time penalty for leaving the track, gaining advantage at turn 9. Jack Doohan won race number 3, Dennis Hauger 2nd, Keo Kalat 3rd, Victor Martins 4th, Clement Novalak 5th, Frederick Vesey 6th, Ayumi Ashawa 7th, Alexander Sumbalar 8th, Juan Manuel Curra 9th, and Jake Crawford complete the top 10. Then we go to the F1 race for the French Grand Prix, the first race back after last year's event was canceled due to COVID-19. Nothing really happened in the race other than strategy was really interesting on the part of teams. Everybody went with the one-stop strategy, except one driver, Max Verstappen. He pulled a two-stop strategy, which proved to be the difference. Max Verstappen beats Lewis Hamilton, and Max Verstappen wins the French Grand Prix to everybody's shocking surprise that we thought Mercedes was going to win. Wrong answer. As as Max Verstappen won the French GP. How about that? Max Verstappen extended his points lead in the Drivers' and the Constructors' Championships so far after 7 races. That's big news there. So, top 10 results for the F1 race. Max Verstappen won, Lewis Hamilton second, Sergio Perez third, Valtteri Bottas fourth, Lando Norris fifth, Daniel Ricciardo sixth, Pierre Gasly seventh, Fernando Alonso eighth. Rounding out the top 10 were the 2 Aston Martin cars of Sebastian Vettel and Lance Stroll. Then we go to the IndyCar race at Road America, the track that I got to go to a couple of years ago, but it was for a vintage race, but I still enjoyed Road America. First full course yellow was Jimmy Johnson spinning off the track. He had a dismal day. Dalton Kellett went out of the race due to a mechanical issue. Kevin Magnussen had an engine problem. Kevin Magnussen replacing Felix Rosenqvist, who was still recovering from his wreck at Detroit. He went off course. Ed Jones went off course as well, very late in the race, had a mechanical failure. And Alex Palou, when it was all said and done, with a shocking win, as he gets another win at Road America, which got me the sweep. So the top 10 results for the IndyCar race. Alex Palou, the winner, Colton Herta second, Will Power third, Scott Dixon fourth. How about a top 5 run for Roman Grosjean in fifth? That's his best IndyCar finish to date. Marcus Ericsson 6th, Alexander Rossi 7th, Takuma Asada 8th, Pato O'Ward 9th, and Max Chilton complete the top 10. Then we go to the Truck Series race at which I'm going to pull the results up right now. Disclaimer, I did not watch any of the races this weekend because I was at work. Let me pull up the results, and then I'll get the Xfinity results, and then the Cup stuff, so give me a second. Xfinity, get that up, because I will have my opinion about what happened in those races. There we go. I'll get the Cup results in just a second. So, starting with the Truck Series race, did not watch. Before the green even fell, Todd Gillen and Tanner Gray had to start the back because of nose issues, which they didn't qualify. Spencer Boyd, Keith McGee, Josh Rayam, Clay Greenfield, Brett Holmes, and J.J. Ailey all failed to qualify. Nothing happened in stage number 1. That was won by... Who won stage 1? Oh, yeah, Derek Kraus won stage 1. I was trying to find it. First actual incident, there was fluid on the track on lap 79 coming from William Byron, who blew his engine, which was too bad. Nothing else happened in stage number 2. That was won by Chandler Smith. First actual incident of the race, the first on-track incident after the engine deal. Johnny Sauter got spun by another truck off turn number 4, but kept it going. And then the last caution of the race, the 25 of... If I can find him here, do not help me, I can find him. Oh, there he is. Josh Berry and the 19 of Derek Kraus. Derek Kraus hit the wall after contact from the 25 Josh Berry, which was disappointing. At the end of the day, Ryan Preece, who might be in danger of having no ride, according to multiple rumors, which we'll get to in the top story news. He took the checker flag for his first Truck Series win in his first start. Good for him. The top 10 results for the Truck Series race. Ryan Preece, the winner. Todd Gilliland, second. Grant Enfinger, third. Zane Smith, fourth. Stuart Friesen, fifth. Matt Crafton, sixth. Ben Rhodes, seventh. Ty Majeski, eighth. Austin Hill, ninth. And John Hunter Nemechek completes top 10. John Hunter Nemechek keeps the points lead heading into Pocono. Moving to the Xfinity Series race for the Tennessee Lottery 250, which normally the Xfinity race is 300 miles, but it's 250 for some reason. No cars were sent to the back of the grid. The 6 drivers who failed to qualify were Gray Gaulding, Dylan Bassett, Colby Howard, Jeffrey Earnhardt, Timmy Hill, and Chad Fincham. Timmy Hill also has failed to qualify for the Pocono race because there's more than 40 drivers. in that deal with no practice and qualifying. Nothing happened in Stage 1, to the big surprise of nobody, which was won by Austin Cindric. The first actual incident of the race, Stephen Parsons got hooked by David, got bounced off David Starr. He goes to the wall, nearly collected the 5 of Matt Mills. The 99 hit the wall so hard that rear tires were off the ground, he could have flipped. He was done for the day. Nothing else happened in Stage 2. Kyle, the Candyman Busch, won Stage 2, which didn't matter because Justin Allgaier would win Stage 2 as far as the regular Xfinity driver is concerned. Then Ryan Sieg got spun, courtesy of Justin Haley and Noah Gragson. And then Ryan Sieg got into the 4th Landon Castle. Then the final yellow, I believe, was Justin Haley getting into Tommy Joe Martin, which did not bring out the yellow for some reason. And all that. But at the end of the day, unfortunately, it ended on a sour note as Kyle, I cannot believe I did it again, Busch won his 100th race in the Xfinity Series, which I'm glad he'll be not returning, which we'll explain that in the top story news in just a second. Top 10 results for the Xfinity race. Kyle Busch wins. Justin Allgaier second, which he should be the real Xfinity winner. Harrison Burton third. Josh Berry fourth. A.J. Allmendinger fifth. Brandon Jones sixth. Jeff Burton seventh. Noah Gragson eighth. Austin Hill ninth. Riley Herbst completed the top 10. Then we go to the Cup Series race for their inaugural race at Nashville, the Ally 400. Hopefully everybody had a good holiday weekend with their dads. First lap, which is the shocker, Quinn Hoff's right front tire came off the car. He slammed the outside wall, and which also could mean his crew chief, his jackman, and the tire changer would be given a 4-race suspension for improperly installed wheel on that car, which, by the way, they had to call, which they had to, and NASCAR had to look at it, so there you go. During the cycle of stops, Tyler Reddick spun coming off turn number 4. Then Ryan Blaney hit the wall so hard, looked like he lost his brakes, is what happened. Then Justin Haley got hit by Chris Buescher. Both of them were involved in a wreck, so no surprise there. Nothing else happened in Stage 1. Kurt Busch won Stage 1. I'll explain why he won Stage 1 in a second when we get to the deal. Bubba Wallace spun out not once but twice. One on the back straightaway coming off 2 and one on the front stretch. We had a debris caution on lap 174. Nothing else happened in Stage 2. Kyle Larson won Stage 2. The 37 of Ryan Preece spun off turn number 2. And then the final caution was Chase Briscoe's incident off turn number 4, which his race was over. But at the end of the day, Kyle Larson ended up winning the race, making it a great day for Chevy. After the race, however, yes, Quinn Hoff has no flippin' talent. He should not be in the Cup Series, in my opinion. Chase Elliott, who originally won Stage 1 and finished 13th, was disqualified because of 5 loose lug nuts, which normally his crew chief would have been suspended, but NASCAR is using the dead Cub strategy to cheat, not suspend his crew chief, not accept if you try anything. And Chase Elliott finished last. 5 lug nuts loose, which is not on the same wheel, surprisingly. So there you go. Top 10 results for the Cup race. Kyle Larson won, Ross Chastain second, William Byron third, Eric Almirola fourth, Kevin Harvick fifth, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. sixth, Daniel Suarez seventh, Kurt Busch eighth, Christopher Bell ninth, and Joey Logano completes the top 10. Yeah. Yeah, Quinn should be fired after the season, but of fucking course, it's money talk. Okay, let's rate all these races, because that was a long recap, if you ask me. Okay, for me, I'm going to start recapping. For Darwin, you get a 9 for me. The French Grand Prix. Formula 3 races were good, so I'll give it a 9. The F1 race, however, wasn't really entertaining, but when you knew Max Verstappen was on fresher tires and all that, I'm going to give it a 7. The longest recap in history. How about the longest recap in quite some time? Remember back in 2019 where we had the birthday deal and we had a shitload of recapping to do? Yeah, it's been a while since we had that, so yeah. So the French GP, I'm going to give it a 7. Mexico, I'm going to give it a 10 in Pueblo. Good for them. I'll give it a 10. Monza, not Monaco. Why the hell did I say Monaco? I don't know. My brain's not, my head's not in the game, so sorry. Monza, give it a 9. Road America, gonna give it a 10. But Nashville truck race, I'm going to give it a... I'm going to give it a 7 for the truck race. The Xfinity race, of course, like I said, I didn't watch any of these races because I was at work, or in Saturday's case, I was not feeling well, and I didn't go to work Saturday. Xfinity, I'm going to give it a 7. The Cup race, I'm also going to give it a 7. So, I mean, while I'm happy Kyle Larson won for the 4th flipping time in a row, the racing was okay. I wouldn't say it was that great, but considering it's Nashville, I'll just say it was okay. I wouldn't say it was not terrible, it was not exciting, it was like stuck in the middle. That's just my opinion. I know Elijah's going to say it was a great race, and I'm thinking to myself, you're kidding. But that's just my opinion. You guys can let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. What you think about the racing from all the tracks I just discussed. Now, let's get to the top story news, because there's a lot of top story news. If you thought the recap is going to be long, the top story news is going to be flipping long. There has been rumors that Kimi Räikkönen, 2007 Formula One Drivers' Champion, said that a NASCAR return is not out of the woods. Räikkönen, who's 41 years old, is leaving options open after what is likely to be his final season in F1 with Alfa Romeo. Good chances he could be in the Truck Series or any series like that, but we'll have to wait and see as far as that's concerned. Let me know what you all think about that, especially you Alfa Romeo fans. If that is indeed the case for Kimi Räikkönen, because, like I said, 41 years old, you know, he last competed in a truck race in 2011. The same year, he also made his Xfinity Series debut, driving the 87. Of course, he made his truck debut for Kyle Busch Motorsports, but like I said, we will just have to wait and see about that. Speaking of some news, there are multiple sources reporting that Chip Ganassi Racing is one of 3 teams that is rumored to be shutting down at season's end. Before we debate on this, there's a very good chance this may be untrue and this may be false. But I was told, according to Brian, that 3 Cup Series teams are shutting down. And Chip Ganassi Racing's team that was popped up is rumored to be one of those teams. Yeah. Chip Ganassi Racing fans, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I don't think that's going to happen, in my opinion. I don't think Chip Ganassi is going to shut his Cup team down. But, again, stranger things have happened, but we'll have to wait and see. Kurt Busch fans and Ross Chastain fans, let me know what you all think in the comment section down below, as well as in the stream, what you think about that little rumor. Another rumor that I did not bring up last week, that I'll go ahead and bring it up this week, was there was also another rumor that Kyle Busch might be challenged to a fight by NTT IndyCar Series Indy 500 winner from 2015, Will Power. IndyCar fans, let me know what you think about that as well in the comment section. Same with you Kyle Busch fans. What's your thoughts about that? Because I heard a lot of rumors about that, so that's crazy. I really don't think that's going to happen, in my opinion, but we'll have to wait and see. Let me see some other news. I'm trying to find some other news. Oh, Abu Dhabi, the season finale for F1, is going to have a couple of changes to the track itself, including a couple of 90-degree corners in two parts of the track, one in Sector 1 and one in the middle sector, right before you go to the hotel and all that, so. Yes, that is accepted. With a trash can I found in someone's backyard with a not clothed Cody in the bathroom while a girl's surprised. Oh, God. Oh, man. Sergio Perez, by the way, was fined €1,000 for speeding in the pit lane. Because he exceeded the speed limit, so there you go. That's kind of it on the reports as far as that's concerned. I believe we had a Diva Series race, which was the CRLA, the Community Racing League of America. They started their first race of the season with Coca-Cola, and it was really entertaining, and I forgot who won that race, so that's my bad. We're going to have the other Diva race later today, as far as that's concerned, so that's something we're definitely looking forward to, if you know what I mean, so, and all that. And don't forget to join June and Annie Einstein for a further evaluation on the Coca-Cola weekend for Inside the Diva series, which will be coming up later this morning, so there you go. Anyway, back to the topic in hand. And by the way, Cody's getting smacked for what he said on Messenger. As I'm going to go ahead and put this out. This is the entry list for Pocono, by the way. Which Cody forgot to put the entry list in there, but Ormy will take care of that, so. Yeah. So. For the entry list for Pocono, the 13 is the DNQ for the Xfinity race. The 75 entry has withdrawn from this weekend at Pocono, so we will not see Parker Kligerman. I think it's due to other stuff. But we have 38 cars for the Cup Series, so which, by the way, unlike trucks and Xfinity, they will bring backup cars for Cup. Because if you crash your car in the first race, you'll have to go to a backup car and start at the rear of the field for race 2. So just putting that out. Looking at the entry list, before we look ahead to our next couple of races, a few things I need to point out. Sam Mayer is making his Xfinity Series debut for Junior Motorsports. I believe Sam Mayer, I forgot what series Sam Mayer is running in. Let me check. But nice to see Sam Mayer making his Xfinity Series debut. I think he's in that car for the remainder of the season. Let me double check that. Oh, and his birthday is coming up. Okay, how fitting is this for Sam Mayer? His birthday is the 26th. And when's the Xfinity race? Do not help me, I will find it. Let me go to NASCAR. No, I just want NASCAR, not... Hang on a second. That's what I want, you derping grandpa. Oh, June 27th. How fitting! It's going to be his birthday. His birthday is, His birthday is the day before, so he's going to be 18 years old. How about that? Sam Mayer's going to be eligible to race the Xfinity race. How about that, y'all? So... Because he's currently 17, so he's going to be legitimately 18 years old, and he's going to be in that car for the remainder of the season. How about that? So, talk about perfect timing to have your birthday, and you will be allowed to race the Xfinity race. That's like perfect timing. Of course, he'll be locked into the show because of where the 8 car is in owner points. So talk about perfect timing. Okay, so that's really interesting, because, like I said, he was going to, hang on, let me see. Yeah, because, like I said, I believe he is going to, let me double check that. Yeah, yeah. Because it was announced Sam Mayer and Junior Motorsports announced to have him drive one of the organization's cars part-time in the later portion of the 2021 and full-time in 2022. So I guess Sam Mayer's birthday, which ironically enough, he'll be 18 years old, so that means he'll be allowed to race these big tracks, so that's pretty damn good. So talk about perfect timing, if you know what I mean. So, and of course, Sam Mayer's going to run, I believe, some races for the, he's also ran some Truck Series races, so at least that's a good news there, so, yeah. So he will be in the car this weekend at Pocono and will run that car for the remainder of the season. He last raced at COTA in the Truck Series, and his best finish was 6th. So he had a good season in the 7th. And of course, he ran the 75 for the Daytona Road Course. 9th at Richmond, 6th at COTA. He's going to be really one of those drivers I think could be really interesting to see how he's going to do. So we'll see how he does in the Xfinity Series car for the remainder of the season. Of course, Josh Berry raced the first half of the season. Of course, Josh Berry is in the 31. Josh Berry possibly racing the 31 for the remainder of the season, perhaps in Xfinity? Who knows? We'll see. Would be nice if that would be the case, so. Because in case qualifying gets rained out again, Josh Berry would get in for the 31. So we'll see. That would be nice for Jordan's team, if you know what I mean. So yeah. Yeah, so looking ahead, this week, of course, is Pocono, also Austria, and also the W Series return for the first time in 2 years, so. So yeah, Austria is going to be fun. Same with Pocono is going to be interesting, but now this time NBC is going to do the double header. Fox did it last year for them. So there you go. So should be really good if you know what I mean. So, oh yeah, Mayer has 4 more races in the 75, as well as I don't know how many races he's going to run. I don't know how many races he's going to run, but also Sam Mayer is going to be doing double duty this weekend because he'll be in the ARCA race this weekend. So at least Sam Mayer will get some track time. So with no practice and qualifying for Sam Mayer, the only practice he's going to have is 80 laps in the ARCA race. So there you go. So that means Sam Mayer is doing double duty this weekend. He's going to not only run the Xfinity race, but he's going to run the ARCA race. So that's good. Good kid. Hopefully he has a good season in Xfinity. Of course, he'll be full-time next season. So there you go. Austria is going to be fun. Same with interesting. We'll see what happens at Pocono. And other than that, that's kind of it. Let me confirm that with you guys before I forget. By the way, Max Verstappen is now tied with Lewis Hamilton for wins this season, so there you go. Yeah, we have Styrian, we have the W Series. Is it just one race for the W Series? Let me double check. Yes, only one race. Pocono. Yeah. So it's only one race for Formula One, one race for W Series, one race for Xfinity and trucks, and 2 races for Cup. So that's the only races we're looking ahead to. So there you go. So with that said, why don't we get down into our predictions for this weekend's 2 global races. I'll probably have the W Series go first, and then Formula One, then Trucks, Xfinity, Cup. So there you go. That's how it works for a deal. So let me go ahead and update. I will update NASCAR later. I will need to update, however, I will update this coming up. Oh yeah, SRX is also racing this weekend. So SRX, F1, W Series, and what was the other one I said? Let me see. F1, W Series, SRX. Okay, those are the only 3 we have to do. SRX, if you're wondering where they're racing this weekend, as I'm going to pull this up. By the way, Tony Stewart's the points leader in the SRX after 2 races. SRX this week, they're at Eldora. And who are the drivers this week for SRX for Eldora, you ask? Let me pull that up for you all. It's going to be Scott Speed. TK is back after missing last week's race. Cody Swanson is also going to be at Eldora this weekend. So there's our 12 There's our 3 part-time drivers and 9 full-time. So there you go. Definitely looking forward to seeing how Eldora is going to play out for them. Scott Speed, his first start of the year for SRX. We'll see how it goes for him. So, yeah. IndyCar is off until next weekend. They're going to be at Mid-Ohio. So, there you go. Alright, so you know the drill. Driver to win, driver stay away from dark horse, 1 point per category. And the best part is, it's only 1 series. How about that? 1 race for each of the series, so that's really good. So, let me real quickly get the global points to you all. Whoops, I am not doing this right. And I'm sorry if I'm trying to do it. Okay. Okay. Give me a second. I'm fixing up this little part right here. So, while I'm doing that, I'm going to go ahead and give you a look at this week's upcoming events, as well as look at this week's upcoming PCSRA racing events. Here's our this week's upcoming events. As I said, of course, we don't care about 11 o'clock. We'll have MLB's Game of the Week coming up this weekend at from Seattle, which will be at 10 o'clock Eastern and all that. Also, less than a month from now, we'll be starting the F1 2021 My Team Career Mode, so that's something we're definitely looking forward to in that regard. So that is a look at this week's upcoming events. Brought to you by Kim K Coach Lines, the official motor coach carrier of the PCSRA. Visit kimkcoach.com for more details. As far as looking at this week's upcoming PCSRA racing events, we will have Triple P next week. Hopefully, this time we will have the panelists join me. Hopefully, it will be exciting. Also, we hope that we also have our special races coming up in a few weeks from now. The Invitational as well as the Birthday Bash. That will be something we're looking forward to. So we'll see what happens. That is a look at this week's upcoming PCSRA racing events, brought to you by Subway Eat Fresh, proud sponsor of Chloe Bumgarner, number 84 Audi RS8. So let me go over the point standings now that we got our quote-unquote promotional announcement. Also, next, following our fine, amazing television program, it's Reese's Pro Series Revisit. It is our Reese's Pro Series Classics. We take a look back at the races that we did before we end up having NR 2003. This week for Reese's Pro Series Classics will be the 2010 installment of... trying to remember what's a good one. We will have the second race of Auto Club from the 2011 series, which Red Riding Hood ended up winning 3 races in a row, so that's coming up next after our Find Amazing program. Hopefully you'll tune into what will be a good one. Yeah, so other promotional announcements coming up today. Of course, we will have everybody else making their predictions. We'll have we're going to have a marathon of Reese's Revisit, which is Classics. I like to say Reese's Pro Series Classics. That will start around the time we normally start Triple P. So after the Palace podcast, the Reese's Pro Series Revisit, or Classics, we like to say, will be featuring the the 2011 endurance race from Homestead, which was probably the longest race in the flippin' world of Reese's Pro, which they had to do like, I want to say like a 10-hour race. I don't know how many laps they did, so, in which they had to freeze the time and then restart the time, and yeah, that was really fun. So that'll be coming up next on our original time for Triple P. So there you go. So looking forward to what will be fun, and of course, as always, we will have Divas Fast Forward from Coca-Cola for the CRLA Divas series. We have not even done the other Divas series race, so there you go. Okay, so now that I got the points and all that taken care of, let's go ahead and give you the point standings. So I need to copy that from Nathan Orman. Thank you very much. So the global standings going into this weekend's events, going into our races in Spielberg, and I'm still on the Richmond part because I haven't even updated the points yet. So there you go. And yeah, so. Oh, I also forgot to mention on the on our several promotional announcements. We're gonna have some awesome shows coming up. So yeah, hopefully you all enjoyed the Reese's Classics from the 2012 race from Toronto, which last time the season finale was outside the United States. Was, well, actually one of two seasons that was outside the U.S. So yeah. So we'll see what happens as far as that's concerned. I know some people may not watch 11 o'clock this weekend because of the fact because some people are going to be probably busy. I know Sean's busy because of work. So there you go. All right. As soon as I get the bonus point standings updated, I will now tell you the standings if I find it. Oh, thank you, Nathan Norman. So let's go ahead and give you the bonus point standing, or excuse me, giving you the standings, starting with the Global Series. After France, Knoxville, Road America, Puebla, Darwin, and Monza, even though it should have been ABC order, but oh well. Yours truly still on top, 151 points. Cody Smart second at 147. Nathan Orman third at 123. Zachary Taylor's fourth at 122. Brendan Rogers 47 in fifth, and Cody Goforth has 41 points in sixth. The NASCAR standings entering Pocono. So here's the dilemma as far as points are concerned, and I will let the panelists know this when we get into a VC later. Trucks and Xfinity will be 1 point each. Cup race, since it is a doubleheader, it will be 2 points apiece. So if you do the math, that is 6 points in race 1, 6 points race 2. That's 20. Let me think. 3, 6. That is 18 points up for grabs for the Cup race. I'm going to put a ping to let everybody know. FYI. So let me... However, Cup... So, yeah. There we go. So, 2 points each for Cup, 1 point each for Xfinity, and of course 1 for Trucks and Xfinity, and of course original 1 points for the other global stuff. So there you go. Alright, so now that we got that covered up, let me actually get the entry list for the W Series before I forget. So yeah, so the driver selection, we also have a couple of reserves. So the drivers we have is Gosta Redes of Poland, Fabian Woolwin, Emma Kimalainen, Vicky Pereira, Ala Adrian, Marta Gracia, Caitlin Wood of, I think that's Australia, yep, Jessica Hawkins, Bedlin Garcia, Sarah Moore, Alice Powell, Tasman Pepper, who is a reserve, Neria Martini, Savory Cook, Abby Eaton, Abby Pulling, Irina Silvica of Russia, defending W Series champion of the world, Jamie Chadwick, Mika Koyama, Beski Weiser, Bruno Tomaselli, and Naomi Schiffner. Which, what flippin' country is that? Rwanda. Republic of Rwanda. Where the fuck is that at? Oh, that's in fucking Africa. It's a fucking tiny country. What the fuck? That's going to be a national anthem we're going to have to get used to, if you know what I mean. So, Red Bull Ring, of course, they're running the 2 races because of the fact that they have moved. This is to make up for France. So there you go. Yeah. I don't know. Okay, here it is. Gosa Redesi, Naomi Schiffling, Callan Wood, Abby Pulling, and Tasman Pepper. They are unable to race full-time as originally planned due to the travel restrictions of COVID-19. So all drivers that don't have a reserve is on that list. So there you go. That's how it works. I'm going to start with SRX because that one's the easy one to get out of the way. Starting with SRX, driver to win. Well, considering it's Tony Stewart's house and all that, I'm going to pick Tony Stewart's driver to win. Driver stay away from, he's never raced an SRX race before, and he's going to probably not be the best dirt racer in the world. I'm going to take Scott Speed as driver to stay away from. Dark Horse. Oh boy, who is going to be a good dark horse? I am going to take Cody Swanson as dark horse. For the W Series, driver to win, I'm going to go with the reigning champion, Jamie Chadwick, driver to win. She won the inaugural race in Germany, and of course Germany used to be on the F1's calendar. I think she's going to pull this one off with her eyes closed. Driver stay away from, This is why I'm really kind of saying this could be one of those races that says, I don't know what I'm going to say, but I'm going to have to go with my gut and say Miki Koyama as driver to stay away from. Because that's one of the rookies. Dark Horse. I'm going to go with Fabian Woolwin as dark horse. For F1, driver to win, Max Verstappen. He's going to keep that momentum going because He knows how to get the job done at Red Bull Ring, and he's going to do well. Driver, stay away from. I don't know about you guys, but something tells me that this driver is going to suck. You know, he's never had so many good results there. I think he's going to have a pretty dismal run. And considering how good he is, or considering how bad it's been for this team, I just don't feel like... I feel like with the long straightaways, it's really going to hurt, you know, the Ferrari engines and all that. And I just don't know how it's going to go well. I just feel like it's going to be another disaster race for Ferrari. I'm gonna go with Charles Leclerc as driver to stay away from. While yes, he does have a podium finish at this track last year, but that was in the Austrian Grand Prix, not the other one. I just don't feel like he's going to do well in the Styrian Grand Prix. The Austrian Grand Prix, I don't think he's going to do well, but I just don't think the Ferrari engines are going to have good pace this weekend in Spielberg. The beautiful Styrian mountains and all that. Yeah, I'm too creepy about that, but anyway. Dark Horse. I'm going to pick him for the second week in a row. Sergio Perez is Dark Horse. I'm going to pick him for the second week in a row. He's going to have a good race. Now, to the Truck Series. We are at Pocono. And Pocono has been one of those races where fuel mileage is going to play a flippin' factor. And I'm going to say this for the final time, and thank God I'm going to say this for the final flippin' time. I'm just going to get this out of the way. Kyle Busch driver to win. Don't ask why. Be the last time you'll hear me say Kyle Busch driver to win for trucks. Be glad it will be the last time you'll hear me say that. And Great Lakes is like, whew, thank gosh. Oh, by the way, Brittany White made tacos for Great Lakes fully clothed. Just so you all know. I don't know if Brittany White's just trying to be nice to Great Lakes, or if she had something go wrong, but whatever the case, she was trying to cheer up Great Lakes. And Great Lakes says that is accepted, so. Drivers stay away from. To me, when you talk about Pocono, you talk about a track that's, you know, 3 different turns, 3 different straightaways. We've had a first lap incident in the last couple of years, and to me, when you talk about this race, it is not a good feeling to know. And, you know, it happened to Matt Crafton last year. The year before that, it happened with Stuart Friesen. Okay, that's good. Thank God it'll be his final Truck Series start. Yeah, it is. But to me, when you talk about this race, it's really something you need to know. I feel like for the 3rd year in a row, we're going to end up having a first lap incident, and it's going to also happen in the Xfinity race. But I feel like this race is not going to be pretty good, and I really just feel like this is going to end pretty badly. So I have no choice other than to say, I am going to say, and this is just my disheartening, I'm going to say Ty Majeski as driver to stay away from. Ty Majeski, by the way, is in the 66 this week. So I'm going to take Ty Majeski as driver to stay away from, because I really just think he's not going to have a good race, because he's never run good at Pocono, if you ask me. Dark Horse. Pocono is a track that really, I think, could suit somebody really well, and I think, you know, yeah, I feel like it's a good stepping stone for Hailie Deegan, because I believe she ran at Pocono. She ran Pocono in the ARCA race last year, so. Considering how he did in the race, I'm going to go with Ryan Preece as the Dark Horse. For Xfinity, I feel like when you look at the entry list, the 40 drivers, because the 13, by the way, is the D and Q, if you're wondering. Um, yes, Ty Gibbs is in the 54 this week, by the way. But you know what? I'm going to pick him. Ty Gibbs is driver to win. He's going to win that Xfinity race. Driver to stay away from. This driver really sucks at Pocono. He has DNF'd Pocono the last two races. Of course, he DNF'd in 2019 early on in the race due to a crash. Last year, he couldn't get past lap 1 due to a crash. Pocono has not been very kind to this driver, and it's really not a big surprise why I'm picking him. I am taking Brandon Jones as the driver to stay away from. It could be 3 in a row for Brandon Jones. I just don't think Brandon Jones is never good at Pocono. And like I said, his last two finishes have resulted him with a wrecked race car, and I think it's going to be 3 in a row. Just my opinion. Dark horse for the dark horse. Dark horse. I'm going to say, I'm going to take Josh Berry as dark horse. Driving for Jordan Anderson's team. That team has been very good ever since they returned, ever since they got back onto the track at COTA. They made the top 40, and I'm happy that they're doing well, and hopefully they can keep it up. For Cup, now remember, whatever you pick in race 1, that's also your same predictions for race 2. For the Cup race, I'm really not sure how I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this in reverse. I'm going to steal the Wyatt method. Dark horse, considering this team has been really performing good lately, and, you know, they've had a very solid season, I'm going to go with Daniel Suarez as dark horse. So I'm taking Daniel Suarez as dark horse. He's going to have a good race. Driver stay away from. Pocono is a track that really, in my opinion, is all about fuel mileage. I feel like, to me, this is a track that I think is going to be really a track that's really going to be good. But the last couple of times when we come to Pocono, this driver has been really struggling. And I just don't know how it's going. I don't know how he's going to do. I just feel like, to me, this driver just really is not really good at Pocono. And his finishes the last several years has proven to be the case. So on that heartful note, and of course he has one win in the Cup Series here at this track, but this driver has not really performed well. I'm going to take Chris Buescher as driver to stay away from. Other than that one win, I just don't feel like he's going to succeed, and he's really struggled at Pocono. Driver to win. He's going to make it 5 in a row and also 4 points finishes in a row. I'm taking Kyle Larson as driver to win. And that, my friends, is my predictions. You'll get everybody else's predictions later on. So there you go. So, we've already covered the look at this week's upcoming events. Final thoughts for me. Will Nashville be on the track, on the calendar next year? We don't know. It's going to feel like every season is going to have, like, different tracks, if you know what I mean. So, and I feel like that's something, you know, could be interesting. You know, can't wait to see what's going to happen at Watkins Glen, because the Truck Series might get practice and qualifying, whereas Xfinity and Cup may not, but hey, we're not going to complain about that. So I think going into Pocono, it's going to be really interesting. Austria, I feel like, you know, this being a back-to-back header, and also Formula 3 will be in Austria in 2 weeks. Next weekend, not this weekend, but next. It's really going to make things a little chaotic, if you ask me. And I think it's going to be really interesting, so yeah. The Oklahoma Highway Safety Office is a proud partner of the PCSRA all season long, as it always is, and wants to remind all of our that drinking and driving is deadly and illegal. Together we can end DUI. Visit endyok.com for more details. As we close the broadcast here today, let's always remember the hashtag Great Lakes Strong as always. Also, BHRA for life and all that good stuff. As we get ready to translate into the new millennium, it's going to be a very exciting broadcast we're going to have, and it should be a fun one. And as we close the broadcast, we want to thank always the men and women for serving our country and doing what they love to do. It's going to be fun to see what's going to happen at Pocono and all that good stuff, and it should be exciting. Special thanks to Always Great Lakes, and special thanks to my amazing crew who normally would be doing this show with me. They are Nathan Norman, Zachary Taylor, Cody Smart, Kyle England, all of our amazing friends. Sean Art, our special guest from the NASCAR Pit Stop Show, which we're really excited to have his job. And also we want to congratulate Jesse on what was a very good archery season, if she did well in Myrtle Beach, which we'll talk about that with Sean, hopefully in the VC later. Also thank our statistician Caleb Hobbs, producer and engineer Zachary Fitzwater, Jackie Tang, Alex Hawkins, Dennis Stats Kelly, Tom Shores, our amazing people, Prue Granger, Abigail Stone, and Lucky Prescott, and Daniel Anderson running the show for us back at our PCSRA Network studios in Yukon and Oklahoma City as well. Also Greg Rutz, our sideline engineer and our amazing expert so far. Until next week, when we recap Pocono, Spielberg, which is the Styrian Grand Prix, take you through all the good news and notes around the amazing organizations and all that. And we look ahead to the following races. They are the Austrian Grand Prix, Mid-Ohio for Indy cars, the W Series, Road America, and I also need to point out the Norris Ring that was supposed to be on there for DTM was postponed because of COVID-19. And all that. So until all of those great races, this is Daniel Voles, aka PCSRA Blue Hedgehog 26, saying, Boomer Sooner, everybody.
On the PCSRA Sports Network from Learfield IMG College, PCSRA Paddock Pass has been brought to you by Budweiser, Love's Travel Stops, iHeartMedia, The Oklahoman, Newcastle Casino, Devon Energy, Sonic Drive-Ins, and by the Oklahoma Highway Safety Office, where we encourage all of you fans that together we can end DUI. Thanks for joining us for the PCSRA Paddock Pass Show. The preceding has been a Learfield IMG College presentation on the PCSRA Sports Network. Copyright 2021 by the National Association of Professional Racing Leagues and the Pacific Coast Sports Racing Association.